All right, here we go. We're back. Episode 2. This is actually technically episode 3, but since I started on episode 0, it's episode 2, okay? All right. So, we got to start off. And I know I'm a LeBron lover. Always have been. He's now the number 2 all-time points scored in the NBA history. And I was hoping it was going to come against Toronto, to be honest, because LeBronto will live on forever. But what do you think about that? Do you think it's a huge milestone for LeBron, or do you think, like Skip Bayless, that it's just a longevity milestone?
And that once he becomes the greatest scorer ever because he's got 4 rings, all that, or all that stuff, that he's automatically gonna be the GOAT. Like unquestioned, he will definitely be 100% the GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think that makes it any better, because if it was the case that he has the 4 rings and the leading all-time scorer, how come that wasn't true for Kareem? Because doesn't Kareem have 4 rings also?
Does Kareem have 4, or does he have 5?
I think he's got 4 or 5. So if that's the case, if that makes him the GOAT, why didn't that make Kareem the GOAT?
But I mean, I feel like if you depending on who you ask, oh no, he's a 6-time champion as well. Depending on who you ask, I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time.
Okay, I mean, I hear you, but I guess the GOAT debate that we're used to in this
MJ and
generation
LeBron, yeah,
is MJ and LeBron, and to me, it's MJ. But to answer your question, it's a it's a big milestone. It's huge. It's you can call it a longevity thing if you want to. Pretty sure Kareem played longer than LeBron, right?
He had 20 years pro, I think. So they're right about there.
Yeah. So I mean, you could call. I wonder if anyone called Kareem's a longevity thing.
Oh, no way. But it's like, I think it was different back then, because I don't feel like many players, like to the level in which Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing, played for 20 years. You know what I mean? And I think, like, because outside of LeBron, can you imagine? Or can you think of another player that's played 20 years and has been productive for pretty much every year of that career? John Stockton. Oh, I actually that was something I saw on Twitter today. And John Stockton and Karl Malone played for a very long time, but what did they do? No championships.
They went to the finals twice.
Yeah, but I mean, now John Stockton's out there pushing anti-vax propaganda, and you got Karl Malone, who impregnated a 13-year-old girl. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough to say.
Everybody needs a hobby, dude.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if pedophilia and ignorance is the hobby I would take, after making millions of dollars. But hey, neither here nor there. But I think it is a longevity achievement. But also, as a guy, LeBron James being said he's more of like a Magic, but kind of like a mix between Magic and MJ, and also but having more points than MJ, more assists than Magic. I think that speaks volumes in its own, and I think obviously maybe this can be viewed as a longevity achievement, but I'm not really understanding as how the fact that he's been able to prolong his career to the point where he's been in his prime for fucking 2 decades is really any like taking away anything from it. But I really think okay, so let me ask you this: how close is it if LeBron passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, becomes the first person to ever pass Kareem since this happened, and then also leads the league not assists. If he's top 5 in assists, because what is he in assists right now?
He ain't never gonna get that assist record.
Well, no, he's not gonna pass John Stockton, but if he gets in top 5, right? Because let's see what he is. He's top 7 right now He's top 7. So if he passes, he's just about to pass. Wait, let me see. I think he's just about to pass. Yeah, he's about to pass Magic, and he's very, very, very close behind Mark Jackson and Steve Nash. So it's very probable that he could actually end up number 1 all-time points scored, number 4 all-time assists, and then I want to say, I don't know what he is in all-time rebounds. Let's see, all-time rebound leaders, because I want to say he can't be too far off, knowing him. Where is he? LeBron. Oh, actually, he's a lot far off. He's 39th.
Yeah.
So, okay, but still in rebounds, he's 39th, but he has 10,000 rebounds.
A lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, how close is he to the GOAT?
Mm-hmm. How like him being number 1, if he reaches the number 1 points, number 4 assists, and I mean he'll be at 40,000, 10 and 10. He'll be the only person in the 40, 10 and 10 at the club. How close does that bring it to him being, it being a real discussion about him being the GOAT?
Look, at this point, I think it's a generational battle. It's a preference. I'm a big MJ guy because I watched him. Right, I'm older than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched him live on television. I remember the house that I'm in right now. My parents, when we first moved into this house, okay, because we're living in some shit, and that's a story for another day. But we moved into this house that summer. Went to Disney World, right? And that was 1996, 1997. It was the last time they played the Jazz in the finals. We went to Disney World, and every night when we got back from Disney World in our hotel room, we watched MJ on TV, right? We watched him beat the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And Karl Malone, man, I don't think you understand how big Karl Malone was. Like, this guy, he was, dude, people just weren't chiseled like that back in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was built different.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, MJ destroyed them. And it wasn't like nowadays where you have 4 people on a team score 20 points. No, it was like one person score like 50 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to watch this guy, literally, and it was the Jazz versus Jordan, right? Like, that's how basketball games were in the 90s.
I mean, I don't want to sleep on Scottie Pippen. I feel like Scottie Pippen,
but he didn't score like that. Like, if you're talking, like, what constitutes a GOAT? Like, the best all-around player? Does it have to be a combination of everything?
I feel like so. Yeah, I think the being the greatest player of all time means that you can pretty much do anything on that basketball court. But that's just me.
So then that eliminates every center ever to play basketball, including Wilt, including Kareem, including Hakeem. The only big guy that could ever claim that throne, if he's got the accolades and the stats to back it up, is Jokic.
So wait. So what did you feel like Kareem couldn't do?
Shoot threes?
Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily a thing that was big during that era.
So then how can you compare eras?
What do you mean?
You can't compare eras. And if your definition, your definition of the GOAT means that it's an all-around player that has to be able to do everything. And if some people in the GOAT discussion fall outside of the 3-point introduction or anything like that, or it being necessary, then how can you compare 2 eras?
I think the way I think about it is, so LeBron can shoot threes. I think MJ, if it was a little bit more prevalent during that time, would have been able to shoot threes. I think just the fact, just because during, the 80s, 90s, and before that, there was no threes, I'm not going to hold that against people that they didn't shoot threes because it just wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Especially when you're talking about, like, Bill Russell and Kareem, like, it was you were dunking on little white guys or you were doing a little sky hook. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it was. So I don't think that disqualifies them because a certain way of playing or a certain move or whatever you want to say wasn't relevant at that time. Because I think, maybe Kareem could have got it. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I mean, he was a great enough player to know that I wouldn't count him out of it. You know what I mean? But I don't think just because now threes are big, they didn't shoot threes back in the 90s. Now LeBron's the GOAT because he can do threes. You know what I mean? It's just things that didn't exist. I don't feel like you can necessarily hold against them.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I look at it.
To answer your question, in my eyes, LeBron will never be the GOAT, but it is so close statistically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what you have to understand is Jordan played what, like 16 seasons?
Yeah, I want to say somewhere between 14 and 17.
Okay. LeBron's played 20. Jordan's what, fourth all time?
In scoring? I think he's let me see. All time scorers. I just had this up too. He is I want to say he's like 6th. No, he's 5th. Sorry. He's behind Kobe, Karl Malone, LeBron, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like he like the things I watch that guy do on the basketball court, I've never seen anyone else do, and I watch basketball every
Well,
day.
don't say that because we have seen a guy. Rest in peace to the late Kobe Bryant, the great. We have seen somebody do quite literally to a T what Michael Jordan did, right? Because that's literally what Kobe predicated his game on.
Yeah, but I
know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
He just, dude. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was like watching, like I think Larry Bird said it best.
Black Jesus.
Well, yeah, he said that is Jesus disguised as Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
When he hit the Lakers with like a 60 piece.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think it's very close. Obviously, he's going to play a lot into who you grew up watching. Like, you grew up watching MJ, I grew up watching LeBron, and I think they both had amazing careers. Obviously, going 6-0 in the finals, no easy task. 2 3-peats is no easy task. Yep. But I also think that LeBron making it to the finals 10 years in a row, even though everybody says the East was, not great during those 10 years, but also no NBA team is just like a walk in the park, right? Like, even the worst NBA team will absolutely destroy the best college team. And I feel like that's what some people don't really understand when it comes to professional sports versus collegiate sports or just sports in general, is that it's not easy to even think about the Kings right now, or the Pacers, or the Magic, or the Pistons. Like, all these guys have talent. You don't get to the NBA without having talent, and so it's never an easy walk in the park. So to say that all these games where they're a top 1 through 4 seed, they're beating all these teams in the playoffs in a 7-game series. You can for 10 years. And you're gonna tell me it was just easy. It was a walk in the park. If you did it in the West, you wouldn't have made it. Half of that. I don't know. It seems a little bit crazy to say, but all right. Let's kind of segue. Another Laker, his fellow Laker, the one who he probably made a Laker, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook hitting that game winner on today's Sunday, so I would have thought it would have been Friday or Thursday or Friday against the Raptors.
It was Friday.
Yeah, against the Raptors. What a fucking shot. I don't know if you saw that sequence. I don't know if you were watching that game. He actually went. You remember he went for the game winner on the other side of the arc.
Airball that.
No, he was a brick, bro. He was top left of the billboard. Or billboard. Top left of the billboard. Top left of the backboard. It was absolutely nowhere near. He was trying to bank it. I was like, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, what's the takeaway? I saw some people talking about this is where the Lakers season is going to change. Russ is going to finally hit his stride. He's going to gain that confidence. What do you think about that?
Playoff Russ, dude. Playoff Russ.
Yeah, playoff Russ. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? I mean, he's done it. He did it in Houston, right? He did it in Washington, right? So it's definitely a thing.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like playoff Russ is very similar to playoff Harden. It's not good. But that's just
Playoff Harden. Playoff Harden. He might as well just be at the strip club, dude.
well, shit. That's probably where he wishes he was.
2 for 21.
Oh, also, just realized LeBron James also top 10 coming up right behind. He's 110 steals behind. Oh wait, no, he's 30 steals behind Hakeem Olajuwon, which would put him at 9th all time in steals. Just throwing that out there.
Wait, hold on a second. Hakeem Olajuwon is that high up on steals?
Yeah, so the top 5 is Stockton, Kidd, MJ, Gary Payton, Chris Paul, and then you got Maurice Cheeks, Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexler, Hakeem, and LBJ.
What the heck?
Yeah. So that would also put him in another top 10 statistical category. Just throwing that out there. I was just thinking about it. But anyways, yeah, so Russ, I mean, do you really think that this could be a gear shifter for the Lakers? Like, do you think this could get them some momentum going into the playing game and towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it will. I'll be honest with you. They just needed some kind of spark, man. Like it doesn't matter if it's, I think Vogel should have tried to get himself thrown out during one of those close games. Oh wait, never mind. There was no close games. So yeah, they just needed a spark, man. Honestly, they needed a spark, and I think this was a spark. I think it's gonna give them some confidence, and we'll see what happens. If they can turn their season around.
Yeah, and I really do hope it's a spark, because I do want to see this team in the playoffs, because I think this team, when it's in a good stride, is good. LeBron, AD, you got Melo, Russ, like you got Dwight. I like this team. Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson. This team should be okay, but they've been horrible all season. Actually, one thing, talking about Vogel, did you watch the Wizards-Lakers game last night?
Watched a little bit of it.
Hey, did you watch the fourth?
I watched the what?
Did you watch the fourth quarter?
I did not watch the fourth quarter.
Okay, so this is something we've actually disagreed on for a while. I've never really liked Vogel as a coach. I think he just doesn't fit. I don't know. There's something about his play style I never felt like it worked. And obviously he didn't have that much success in Indy. Outside of this championship in 2020, he really hasn't done much as a coach. But in the fourth quarter, KP torched the Lakers. He dropped 16 points against
16 points to 13 points, I think, or something like that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And in just the fourth. So how do you, as a coach, allow that?
They just don't have the personnel to stop him.
You don't think so?
What do you do? I mean, what do you do? Like, see, that's the thing that he keeps saying. People want them to go big, play traditional. They don't have the personnel. They can't play big anymore, right?
I mean, not anymore, but I still feel like you put Trevor Ariza on KP. Yeah, obviously Trevor Ariza is not going to be one of the guys necessarily you think you're going to want in your closing lineup. But if you have a 7-footer that is just torching you in the fourth, that's kind of you need to make some adjustment. Instead, they didn't, and they ended up losing the game because of it. Because they were up. They were down. No, they were actually down 3, and they ended up losing by like 9 or 8 or something. Like, it was absolutely insane. And I think a lot of it is just like, the rotations he makes don't make sense. The rotations that he implements, there's so many of them, and none of them work. And I don't Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Just one question.
Mm-hmm.
Did his rotations make sense during 2020?
I don't think so. No. I still don't think so.
Really?
No, I didn't think so, because I never understood why LeBron and Rondo would be on the court at the same time.
So that LeBron could play off the ball.
LeBron should never be playing off the ball.
Are you
That
talking about in the entirety of the playoffs or against like the
yeah,
Heat?
entirety of the playoffs. LeBron should never be playing off the ball. LeBron is a point guard. I don't care if he's a small forward or power forward. He is a point guard.
All right.
You want the ball in his hands. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
having him with Russell Westbrook on the floor at the same time does not make sense to me. You know what I mean? I know LeBron's jumper has become better. His shots, fall a little bit more towards the later end of his career. But him playing alongside a point guard does not make sense to me.
What about when he played with Kyrie?
I think it's a little bit different with Kyrie, only because he was a little bit more versatile as a whole than every other point guard he played with. Because Kyrie could also shoot off the ball or off the catch and shoot.
Exactly.
Obviously the basically game winner. Kyrie shot one of the best shots in NBA history.
Next to Ray Allen.
Yeah, next to Ray Allen. Yep, yeah, agreed. But one of the best shots. But I think that was the thing is like Kyrie can do a lot more. I think to a much higher level. And actually, I feel like we're kind of seeing it right now. Everybody's kind of starting to realize how insanely talented Kyrie is.
Part-time Kyrie, dude.
Exactly, and like this dude is torching NBA teams. But like I feel like it's a little bit different with them, but also I think they had a little bit of a different team as well. I think the way that Cleveland team was it 2016. I think it was the 2016 Cavs. I think the way it was built was a little bit more fundamentally sound. That way.
Because David Griffin's a better general manager.
No doubt. There's no disagreements there. I've always said David Griffin is actually a very good GM.
He put those Suns teams together in the early 2000s. You know that, right?
No, I did not know that. I didn't even know he worked for the Suns at all.
Yep, he used to be the Suns general manager.
See, that makes sense. And we're talking. He's still in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, he's in New Orleans.
Yeah, he's in
There's
New
a
Orleans.
lot of Phoenix connections there, or there used to be at least.
And now, I mean, what he's doing in New Orleans, I can respect because it's looking great. And I know maybe not being the 8th or 9th seed or whatever the hell they are, he's looking great. But that team is going to hit a stride at some point, whether it's this season or next season. That team is going to hit a stride. That team is way too talented.
They just need, like, the same way Dallas needed skinny Luka, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need skinny Zion, bro.
Shit.
Not skinny, like pencil skinny.
Yeah, but
I'm
just
saying.
lose some weight, fat boy type of skinny. Yeah. No, I mean, hey, man.
Man.
But no, like I don't know. David Griffin 100% way better, but I think after this season, Coach Vogel is definitely going to get looked at. I don't know what other options there are going to be for in terms of a coach, but I really, really would like to see a different coach. I still, in my opinion, cannot believe that Tyler's not coaching the Lakers right now, but that's neither here nor there.
Can you imagine if Monty Williams was the coach of the Lakers?
It would be scary.
They offered him that position. He said, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Phoenix.
Nah,
What?
that's it. I mean, and I think I talked to you about this when LeBron made his decision to leave Cleveland again. I really was hoping, because I know there was talk about D'Lo coming to Phoenix. There was talks about, was it Kemba? Kemba coming to Phoenix. But I really wanted LeBron. I think that LeBron these should have been his destinations. It should have been Philly first, if you want to win championships. Second, if you really, really want to win championships and you think you can make it work, Houston. And then if you want to win championships, not right away, but you have the potential to three-peat, Phoenix. That should have been his options. This whole LA revival and for Kobe and shit. I love Kobe, rest in peace. But holy shit, I've never liked the Lakers. I've always hated LA. California as a whole is just a shithole, man. And
It is.
I don't know. I just seen LeBron there and fucking the struggles that he's going through, and it's just awful, man. And him being paired up with a guy that's never fucking healthy, it's just annoying. All right.
You know the thing about LA is it reminds me a lot of Miami
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the fans, the media, like everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Do you remember hearing anything at all about the Lakers when they sucked?
Nope.
Exactly. How about the Heat when they sucked?
The Heat a little more because when they sucked, they were still like the 8th or the 7th seed in the playoffs of the East. And I always liked watching Dwayne Wade. I've always loved Dwayne Wade's game. So I think a little bit more, but it might have just been because of my own personal bias. And I feel like the low points for the Lakers were very different than the low points of the Heat. You know what I mean? Just because of the culture and the coaching staff, and you know what I mean?
And they never had to deal with Robert Sacre.
Yeah. I saw him at a Laker game like last week.
He's a Laker great, bro.
Yeah, one of the great Laker legends.
But I guess my point is it's like, LA, they expect so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're not winning, when you're not good, when you're not relevant, they don't give a shit, dude.
No, it's like, it's not even that they don't give a shit. They dog on their team, bro. Like, it's like the Lakers and the Knicks fans, and Philly too. These big, no, for what I'm about to say. Oh, yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say they booed the shit out of their own teams. Boston, it gets to a point, but I don't feel like Boston will outright. You're in the Garden or Barclays or anything, like, you don't get booed to the degree like you do in LA and Philly and MSG in New York. Like, it is a whole nother level. These big market teams, their fan bases are so incredibly just like not faithful at all that it's like, it's crazy. Obviously not everybody's like that, but like the vocal minority is so horrible in that aspect.
Well, could you say that their fans are horrible or their fans are good because of the fact that they're booing them? I mean, they could just let a franchise get away with wasting time, wasting seasons.
I mean, Philly did also do that. Philly also did do that when they were in the whole rebuild mode for the last 20 years. But I don't know. I guess it really just depends on who you are and what you prefer, because like you think about the Suns. I mean, we remember, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you would be able to go to like get a good seat in the Suns game for $25. Now those same tickets are going for $2,500. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, I think I told you about this before, but I mean, I've gone to a lot of Suns games before. I dated a girl whose parents had season tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, season tickets back then and playoff tickets. So I went to a lot of playoff games with the Steve Nash Suns, and I don't know how much money they spent on those tickets, dude. Because I think they set like a record in the NBA in that time period for consecutive sellouts between like 2003 and 2007. So I can't even imagine how expensive those seats were.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, but that's the difference. Like in Phoenix, like I don't remember any real like we were dogging on the team, booing them, all that.
Booing never. We blamed Sarver here.
Yeah, that's what we did. And then people just didn't go to the games. You know what I mean? Like we were like, fuck that. We just won't buy tickets and waste our time. We'll sit at home. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's different, but New York, they'll keep spending their money. And Philly, they'll keep spending their money. In LA, they'll keep spending their money just to go and fucking boom. Like, to me, I don't understand it personally, but
I don't know. I think it's just so rooted in their blood, man.
Yeah,
like those teams I don't know.
They're a different breed. And let's get on to the next topic. This one's gonna be a little brief because I don't actually know as to what the fuck happened. The Grizzlies getting destroyed by the Atlanta Hawks. You got anything to say about this?
Only thing I can say is that Trey, right?
Yeah.
I like the whole thing with Trey. I feel like he doesn't like to be like out-dueled.
I just want to let you know, Trey did not play in this game. It was actually Bojan Bogdanovic dropped 33 and 2.
I was trying to pull up the box score. So let's see. Yeah, I got nothing on this, dude. I should have watched this, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
I
at least
mean,
the highlights.
Dylan Ray almost 20 points. Clint Capella almost 20 points. DeAndre Hunter dropping 14, 3, and 5. Danilo
It's
Gunnar.
Bogdanovich.
Yeah,
This
but
is what he went off.
yeah, I don't know. But when you got like, it wasn't even that. So like Ja and Bojan, they had a duel, right? But then it's just the supporting cast in Memphis kind of just didn't do anything. Like you got Jaren Jackson Jr. scoring 15, Desmond Bain scoring 15, Dylan Brooks scoring 11. You got Kyle Anderson scoring 9. Like it's not the typical, supporting cast in Memphis that I think we've been accustomed to this season. But meanwhile, like DeLon Wright, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, Danilo Gallinari, these guys all popped off, and you have 2 or 3 other guys that are almost in double digits in Okongwu, Luau Cabarro, Kevin Herter, Red Velvet.
AKA City.
Yeah, Mr. City himself. Oh, actually, I have a Snapchat message I still haven't opened up from him this morning. But
Don't do it, dude.
but I don't understand. Like this is what throws me off, and this is also the same thing as to why I love sports because they're so unpredictable. But at the same time, if you're Ja Morant, we've been hyping you up, and this is the reason why I don't think he's gonna win the MVP this year because I don't think he's there yet. He's not there yet. He's gonna win Most Improved, 100%. But he's not gonna. Oh, go ahead.
You gotta beat the teams that you're
You're
supposed
supposed to be exactly, especially when you are Ja Morant. You're in the MVP talks. You know what I mean? Whether you're in the top 10, you are a considerable prospect for MVP this season, and you go to Atlanta without a Trae Young, and you get blown out by 15.
So let's compare it a little bit in terms of them not being ready yet, right? And Ja not being ready in general to the Suns last season, right? The Suns had I think it was the 3rd best record in the NBA last season when it all ended, but they would still lose random ass games like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the other team did not have their star or this, that, or the other thing. This season they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't drop games like that. They beat who they're supposed to beat. That's why I feel like the Suns are ready, and you hit the nail on the head. Ja's not ready yet.
Yeah, he hasn't unlocked that yet. He can't just go, which is kind of insane to me because I don't know as to what Ja Morant's ceiling is because this kid is already so talented. He's so young.
Let's say let's say this, okay. His talent level or his talent ceiling. Could you say he's a better defensive D Rose? Would that be his ceiling? Or would you go even further?
Well, I don't know because let's see, D Rose MVP season. I want to remember his stat line because he was 22 years old when he was the youngest. So MVP. Yeah, the youngest MVP. He was averaging 25 points, 7.7 assists, 4.1 rebounds, 1 steal per game, 44.5% from the field, 33% from 3, and 85% from the line. Meanwhile, this season, Ja Morant is averaging 24.7 points per game, 6.7 assists per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, steal and a half per game, 49% from the field, 38.3% from 3, and 77% from the line. So, it's very, very, very close.
But you also have to take into account the fact that the Bulls didn't score and they didn't have the other team score a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they only averaged 100 points a game or something like that. They also were the best defensive team in the NBA at that point because of Tibbs, the way that he plays defense.
Yep. Yeah.
Coaches defense. So that 25 points a game from D Rose back in the Bulls back in that day is, in my opinion, probably worth about 30 now.
Yeah, and I would agree because and I also would agree because I think the teams that, I'm thinking about, D Rose is matching up against the Celtics Big Three, Miami Big Three. I think that at this time was Melo. I think Melo, he was in New York right now. At this time,
he was definitely in New York because Amari got traded in 2000 and Maybe it wasn't 2007. No, it wasn't because they had that other finals run, the last finals run with the Suns in 2009. So no, I don't think Melo was in New York
So
yet.
he was still in Denver.
He was still in Denver, I think.
I mean, but I don't know. It's very comparable, but I don't remember. I mean, maybe it's a little bit, hazy. I don't remember, that Bulls team losing many games that they should have won. Especially with a superstar, that leader of that team missing. You know what I mean?
He was so good though, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely, obviously, I don't think Memphis or that Ja's gonna get the MVP this season. I think it's either gonna be Jokic or Embiid. It'll probably be Embiid because I don't know. There's so much media pushing the agenda that that Jokic is underappreciated because he's on the Nuggets and whatever. Who cares? I don't like watching him because his game is just kind of boring for me to watch, but it is what it is. I think
he's a 7'1" LeBron, dude. Come on, say it.
Yeah, unathletic. They can't jump. I saw him dunk like last week, and he looked like he barely got up over the rim.
Yeah,
he's so incredibly unathletic, and it's just like, dude, come on, like get your ass up there. You're already fucking more than halfway there, just jump, like it's that easy. All right, and it's just kind of transitioning to the MVP race, and it's updated. NBA released the updated MVP ladder, or Kia MVP ladder, and still, Jokic is ranked number 1. You got Joel number 2, Giannis at number 3, Ja at number 4, and Luka at number 5.
Let me ask you a question. Not that I'm pushing saying that Booker should win. Is Booker in there at all?
I think he's 7th behind Jason Tatum.
He's behind Jason Tatum.
Yes, which I would actually. I'm not gonna. I'm okay with that.
All right.
I know. But I just. I mean, I don't. We've talked about this. We've talked about this so many times, and
you're like, he's not a superstar.
He is not. He needs to take over. He needs to be able to say
that's not his game. He plays more like LeBron, dude.
But this is like why LeBron didn't. Oh, actually, he's not even just behind. He's behind Jason Tatum, who's number 6. Tied for 7th is Steph Curry and DeMar DeRozan, and then it's Devin Booker.
Okay, so this man, Devin Booker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Destroyed the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who was defending DeMar and Zach 90% of the time?
Probably Devin Booker.
Yeah. Like, legit. Go pull up their stats real quick. I'm pretty sure DeMar DeRozan had like 8 points.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was a horrible game. Yeah, DeMar ended up with 19 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. You got Vucevic, 16-1-7, Zach LaVine, 12-9-2. Kobe White, 14-1-2. Tristan Thompson, 11-1-5.
Yeah. So I mean, come on, man. Like, you can't put Booker ahead of
Behind.
Yeah, you cannot put him behind. There's no way.
Well, okay, but the MVP is not just, how they match up. It's the entire season. And DeMar, and I love DeMar. I think he's going to go down as one of the most underappreciated superstars in NBA history because he was so overshadowed by LeBron. He had so many good runs in the playoffs with that Raptors team. He had so many times where I guarantee he should have had a chip or 2 by now, him and Kyle Lowry, because there was so much talent on that Toronto team, but they could not get over the hump that was LeBron. And now, LeBron's out of the East. Obviously, there's some more Goliaths in the East, and it's a hard division, or a hard conference now, I should say. Probably the hardest conference, like we talked about 100%. Last time. But DeMar is having an incredible season. I mean, he's 31, 32 years old. And it's incredible what he's doing. I mean, he had back-to-back game winners. He's doing a lot. He's showing out this season, and I think that's no knock on Book. He's having a great season too. It's just I don't know. It's hard because it's just there's so many good players on Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, they are such a deep team, and I'm not trying to take away from Book's greatness and Book's, season, because he has been having a great season defensively and offensively. Like, this kid has been going.
I think he worked his ass off on the defensive end.
100%, and he should be in this conversation. It's just some of these guys are just.
Yeah, who do you take out?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Going back to the whole defensive, or not the defensive, the MVP ladder. It has to be Jokic, man. And I said it the last time, and I'm gonna keep harping on it. And I agree with the media, and I don't say that very often. But who has been healthy for Jokic?
Nobody.
Exactly. I mean, Murray's been out for like
since the bubble
and a half, right? Yeah, since the bubble, exactly. Like MPJ, right? Was supposed to be that third option, right? And he's been out for 60 plus games this season. And then they brought in Aaron Gordon because MPJ was injured, and he hasn't been doing anything. Defensively, he has. Right?
Well, hold on. Let's pause there though, because I said, and I remember this very clearly. We had a debate about this. I have never, ever believed that Aaron Gordon could ever productively play winning basketball. He is a great dunker. Absolutely great. Should have a couple.
He's great. He's great defensively though too.
Well, yeah.
You gotta give the man his flowers.
No, he's a solid defensive player, but he has never, ever struck me as anybody that would have any accolades outside of the dunk contest. And he got snubbed a lot. I'm not gonna lie. He should have a couple dunk contest wins, but. Okay. Do you remember when I told you that? I was like, it's an okay trade, but I think right now, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Aaron Gordon or would you rather have Gary Harris?
Oh, if I'm the Nuggets, I think, in my opinion, they got Aaron Gordon to shut down. They got him to shut down LeBron, and they got him to guard Booker. Have you ever seen the man guard Booker?
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure I have, but
dude, they have to, like, very rarely do they ever run like full screens. They usually run like slip screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they have like a pick and roll or a pick and pop with DeAndre and Booker, like a 2-man game, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to run full on staggered screens to get Aaron Gordon off Booker so that he can get a clean shot. The man is the best guarding of Booker that I've seen. Him and Paul George can guard Booker, right? So he guards Booker well. He guards LeBron well. Could you say the same about Gary Harris? Some of statistically Booker's best games have been against Gary Harris. You see what I'm saying? And Gary Harris cannot guard LeBron, so I think that's why they went out and got Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think they're kind of similar. Gary Harris has had a big drop off in terms of 3-point percentage and everything like that.
I think he's been taking more though as well in Orlando because, yeah, it's Orlando.
I mean, it's Orlando. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, and he probably doesn't have the open shots that he had when he was in Denver.
Hell no.
Et cetera. But no, I'd rather have Aaron Gordon. I'm sorry, he's just more of a jack of all trades in that 4 spot that people need. Nowadays, especially on the wing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like he's like a bigger, more athletic version of Jake Crowder.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I agree. But if he could shoot threes at the level of Jake Crowder, I'd say yeah all day. But I just don't think offensively he's there, and I think that was a big reason. I was like, I don't see it. You know what I mean? And I think once Jamal's back and Michael Porter Jr.'s back, I think Jokic and Denver would rather have Gary Harris. But that's just me. Actually, maybe not. Maybe they'd rather have Aaron Gordon.
I don't know. I just think defensively he can stop a whole lot more people. I think they can try to throw him on Giannis too if they ever got to the finals. I think that was their thinking.
Oh, he would get torched by Giannis.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure he would. Everyone gets torched by Giannis. I mean, look at Torrey Craig. That guy is yoked, and he couldn't, like, Giannis was bowling him over like a freaking water bottle. I don't know, man.
But yeah, I know, I get it. I get Jokic is having a good season. I don't know. I know what he's doing is crazy because he has literally no help. But I also think at the same time that their reserves when they are all reserves are very good. You know what I mean? Like when there's not pressure on Facu Campazzo and Aaron Gordon and what's the guy? Is it Monte
Morris?
Monte Morris. I always want to say Monte Ellis. And like I think when those guys they don't have any expectations other than don't fuck up the lead too bad. They're good. Yeah. And like, but when you give them so much like pressure and like, oh, you're the starting five, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. And I think they look worse now that they're starters because they're missing so many pieces that it's making Jokic look better, and I think it's a little bit skewed because of that.
I see where you're coming from. So it's a double-edged sword, right? He's
exactly.
Pieces and he's looking great, but it's also like making him look better because they're so bad.
Exactly, but in reality, they're not as bad as they are because when they're playing their positions, because none of these guys are starters. Like Facu Campazzo is not a starting caliber player. He should not be getting the minutes that he is. Monte Morris, I think he kind of is generally up there in minutes, but like not to what they're getting now. You know what I mean?
He's their sixth man. He's like the first one off the bench.
Exactly, and it's like, but these minutes are getting skewed because obviously you're missing two of your big three, and you got to make up for that. But I think, like you said, it's a double-edged sword. He's looking great. They're not looking great, so he looks even better, So, but I don't know. I think overall, my vote is still Joel Embiid. I think it could go either way. I think with the way the media is playing out right now, it's probably going to end up being Jokic. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. All right.
Let me ask you one more thing about that. Do you think that Embiid is truly happy if Jokic or Giannis win the award, as long as a foreign big man, in his words, a foreign big man?
No.
Right? So you think he wants it?
Yes.
You think he's that type of person?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear the interview about how when the Philly offered him that extension that he never thought that he deserved it because he didn't believe in himself?
I heard about it vaguely.
Okay. I personally think that he actually means it when he says that he'd be happy if either of them won it, as long as it's a foreign big man. I truly think that he's that type of person.
He's too competitive. He can say that all he wants, but I really think he's trying to hide his real feelings and the fact that he'd be like, no, I want it. And then if he doesn't get it, because I feel like a big way the media's playing out is going to have a big, big, big effect as to how the MVP is chosen. Because there's this huge narrative, like you were talking about, like that Jokic is getting overlooked. And I think there's a little bit of him, there's a little part in him that he is going to be happy if it's him, Giannis, or Jokic, which obviously it's going to be one of them. But I also think he wants it. He needs to prove to everybody, because he really believes that he's one of the best. He's top 5 in the league in his mind. And the way, because if you think about it, Kawhi doesn't hit that shot in Toronto. The Philly's going to the finals.
Philly's going to the finals,
and they're winning. They're beating Golden State.
Well, anybody could have beat Golden State at that point.
Well, but that's what I'm saying though. So they would have been champions, and then coming off that season, you don't think they would have got confidence? Like look at Milwaukee. They haven't fucking. I mean, they have their moments, but they haven't. They you got fucking Drew Holiday. You got Chris Middleton shooting fucking from half court. I'm like, dude, you've never been that guy. Chill out. You know what I mean? Like you get that swagger after you win a chip. But I think it's a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. I think obviously Joel, it being him, Jokic, Giannis, a foreign big man, yes, he'll be happy. But it's very obvious. That's one of those three guys are going to be the MVP. But I think at the same time, he wants it. He needs that validation. He got bounced from Kawhi. He was a fucking crying meme. You know what I mean? Like he talked all that shit. Yeah, like it's his revenge tour. You know what I mean? And he's been torching people. So I think it's a yes and no.
All right.
But so kind of talking about playoffs. Crying in the tunnel. Who can give the Suns problems in the playoffs? Do you think out of the West? Like, do you think there's any real threats to the West or to the Suns because they're looking good without CP3? So when CP3 comes back, do you think there's anybody that's gonna really, that you think, oh maybe?
The teams that I don't want the Suns to play at all, like at all, because they scare the unholy shit out of me, is the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the Jazz, they don't give a shit, dude. They will chuck up 57 threes and miss 43 of them. Okay? Like they don't care, man. They will shoot and shoot and shoot. And the teams that have beaten or blown out the Suns this season are teams that just get hot from 3-point range.
Yep.
Okay? Literally, Miami, they spanked the Suns like hard at home. And that doesn't happen. I think the Suns have lost like 5 times at home all season.
Yeah, this season, yeah.
That was one of them, right? And they got spanked. Like the game was over at the start of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the Suns play the Jazz, I don't know what's gonna happen, dude, in a 7-game series. Like, can you say that the Jazz can't catch fire 4 games out of 7 with how many threes they shoot with their personnel that they have?
Well, I think now, yeah, because Ingles being down, he's out for the season. Bogdanovic is injured right now. I mean, you'd really just be going against Donovan and Conley.
And what's his name? The Filipino guy.
The Filipino guy. Let me see.
And I can't remember his name.
Let me see. Jazz roster.
We're very informed here at the Phoenix Fadeaway.
Yeah, of course. Only the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
like Trae Young had a really good night the other night against the Grizzlies.
Oh, Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. There you go.
You're right.
So they just have a bunch of flamethrowers on their team, man. Like, and they like the same way with Miami, dude. Miami scares the crap out of me. They should scare everybody because of their 3-point shooters. But to answer your question, Clippers number 1, Jazz number 2, and you know, Grizzlies number 3. And the only reason I put Grizzlies number 3 is because I don't think, like we were talking about before, that Ja and them are ready to take that next step yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think CP3 and company, they can just punk them.
Yeah.
But Clippers, because of Ty Lue, the way they play defense and the way they just don't give up, dude.
And they're deep.
Yeah, they're so deep. Like, everyone talks about how deep the Suns are. No, I think the Clippers are the deepest team in the NBA.
Oh, 100% with getting Powell and Rocco and when Kawhi and PG come back, like if
there's rumors that they might be back for playoffs.
Yep.
And they're positioned to play the Suns first round, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I that is my worst nightmare. If we play the Suns, because let's just not get it twisted here. Embarrass them by himself in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, let me be honest, if Kawhi and Paul George are here and fully healthy by the first round, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean,
because even if the Suns win, it's going to go to a 7-game series.
They push the Suns to a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Without Kawhi.
Yep.
The Clippers, like, I think there are a couple of coaches in the NBA that are up there with the intellect and the know-how of how to get your team to win, right? With Monty, and I think Ty Lue is up there. He's one of them. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%.
And then you throw on the personal vendetta that the Clippers have against the Suns players, especially Devin Booker. They hate Devin Booker.
Yeah, they both hate each other. I think the Suns hate both LA teams more so than I've seen any like West rivalry in a while.
Yeah, no, this is a budding rivalry, 100%.
And that's why I think it's if it does happen, which is likely will, because the Clippers are 6 games off, or 6 games out from the 7th seed, and the Lakers are 6 games out from the 8th seed. So realistically, you're probably gonna see the Clippers first round. It's just whether or not Paul George and Kawhi play, and if they play, are they healthy?
Even if they don't play, the Clippers can push the Suns.
Yeah, but I don't think if they don't play, I think that it will maybe go to 5. I mean maybe at 6 at most, but Like, I think Kawhi and Paul George, because I remember, and I'm not trying to throw, I'm not trying to call you out. There was a conversation we had the first season of LA when Paul George and Kawhi went, and Paul George had a horrible season. And you had said that he's done. It's over for him. Like, he looked, and I mean, the pandemic P happened, and I said, you just gotta wait. I said, you gotta remember, he was in the MVP discussion in OKC. This guy is,
and in Indiana too. Everyone thought he was better than LeBron.
well, no, but I'm just saying, more recently, he was in, like, he was second fiddle to fucking Westbrook, and he was still in the MVP discussion. I said, you just gotta wait it out. And he finally hit his stride, when there was last year's playoffs. I mean, it was an amazing series against the Suns.
He played really well.
Yeah,
really well.
And he finally
Suns couldn't guard him at all.
Yeah, and that was vintage PG. You know what I mean? That was who we saw in Indy. That was who we saw in OKC, and that was who we thought we were going to see in the first season of the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi. Wasn't how it played out. But I said, you just got to wait. This guy, you can't go in a 2-year span from an MVP caliber player to a fucking, at best, third option. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not how it happens. And I think I think that is the biggest threat. I think that, honestly, I think the Warriors are going to be a more of a threat than the Jazz, because I think they are just a generally better three-point shooting team. I think with Ingles going down, Bogdanovic is going to be injured. Well, he is injured. I think he's going to be a little bit weird towards the playoffs. I think that they could prove a little bit harder. Obviously, it's going to be a little. What's that?
I'm worried about the Warriors.
The Warriors as well. But the only thing is that they don't really have a big man. Obviously, there's talks about James Wiseman coming back. But I know that I was reading a lot of stuff about they're not confident that he's ready to join a championship contending team. Like, mentally, they're not sure.
But his knee, he was working out. His knee is swollen right now.
No, that too. But I think it's also just like they're really pushing that you're injured. Take it slow, all this. But like, I think they're more worried about, like, I don't think that he's ready to compete for a championship. You know what I mean? Like, he
would get torched by the big man in the West
and
the big man in the East.
And that's what I think they're worried about. Is that that happens? Is it going to be his confidence is gone? Or is it going to be, oh, that's a stepping stone, now it's time to get to work, you know what I mean? And I think they're worried because he was the first pick or the second pick?
He was the third pick, I thought.
Oh, yeah, it was Ant, Wiseman, Melo, yeah. So, you're the second pick. I mean, we already see what happened to Markel. Like, he got torched. Obviously, he had some injuries and everything, but he had no confidence, and I've never seen a number one pick get traded so quickly.
No.
So I think they're kind of walking a fine line there. But yeah, if I'm a Sens fan and I'm worried about who we're playing in the playoffs, Clippers and Warriors. Those are going to be the hardest ones. Like I said, we both agree that Memphis, it's not their time yet. Give them another year or two, they're going to be a big, big, big problem. But yeah,
I just feel like the Grizzlies, from a Suns standpoint, match up better than the Clippers. The Clippers, dude, I don't know. They give me nightmares.
I mean, they're deep. They're deep. They're talented. They have two, and they're
gritty.
They're gritty. Like that first season, they kind of just showed up to games thinking they were gonna like win, but now they know, like, we gotta bust our ass, Yeah. Like they got some dogs, man, and that's what I like about them, because you got dogs, and then you got two superstars in Kawhi and PG, and then you got two pretty good big men. Like, I like Serge. Zubats has been good for him. And then you add
Serge is on the Bucks now, though.
Oh yeah, he is. I forgot he got traded. You're right.
Yeah.
Who did they get in that trade? Oh, did they get? No, it wasn't Bledsoe. They got Bledsoe now, though. Yeah.
They got rid of Bledsoe too.
Where's Bledsoe now?
New Orleans, I think.
Is he? Bledsoe. Oh no, he's in Portland.
Portland.
Oh, so he must. Oh, so he must have been in the Rocco Powell trade. Interesting. So, but I mean, even with Rocco and Powell, those are huge pickups. I actually don't understand as to how the Blazers traded.
Their depth just keeps getting bigger. They have so many guys that can just go out and give you 30.
And I'm
like,
I don't understand. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, and then let's talk about. This is like the last real topic we're going to talk about just briefly. Chicago Bulls being 0-15 against the top seeded teams in both divisions, both conferences. Keep saying divisions because I was thinking about football. What do we take away from this? Because I thought, honestly, the way they started out the season, they were going to be a dark horse to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I can't even see them making a Game 7 against anybody in the East. I honestly think so. Like right now, let's see the NBA standings. If the playoffs started today, the Bulls are the 5 seed. So who would they be playing? The 6th seed?
They would be playing the 4th seed.
Was it okay? So they'd be playing the Celtics.
Yeah, they'll get trashed on.
Exactly, and like let's just say hypothetically they played the 6th seed. They'd be playing the Cavs.
They'd still get trashed on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard because I'm like, it makes me wonder, is it because Lonzo? Like, does Lonzo really make this Bulls team that much better where I think maybe they can overcome the Cavs? Probably not. They definitely still couldn't beat the Celtics. I can't even talk, Celtics.
So I watched the Suns play the Bulls the other night, and what I noticed is that there's literally one person on that whole team that plays defense, and that's Caruso.
And that's what's crazy.
Yeah, they just don't like. I literally would watch Levine get picked off and then not even try to get back on the guy that he's not even try to get on his hip or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's same with DeMar, but Caruso was fighting through screens, and like Booker was handling them, right? And then Caruso came in the game and he started guarding Booker, and then Booker kept having to pass and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Like he'd come off a screen about ready to shoot a jump shot, Caruso was in his face, so he'd have to pass it. That wasn't happening when he wasn't in the game. So if you put Lonzo in, at least you'd have 2 people that can actually defend. But I don't think it's going to make a difference. And this is a hot take right here. They need to trade Zach or DeMar. They cannot coexist.
Shit, that is a fucking hot ass take. So okay,
you can't have 2 superstars that don't buy into defense, that don't buy into the game plan, that cannot defend or won't defend, one of the two. They either need to sit them down and be like, listen, you guys need to defend. You need to try to at least fight through the screens.
Well, here's the thing, though, is because we had talked about this in like towards the first quarter of the season, and you had said the same thing, that the Bulls defense was not good, and at the time they were a top 5 defense. Now they've dropped to what is this, 3, 4, 5, 10, around the 18th mark. The 18th best defense in the league. What happened? Is it because of injuries that they lost their momentum? Did they lose their will to want to keep fighting? Not sure. Because Bill Donovan's another good coach, and I don't understand as to where they went wrong, because they looked so good at the beginning of the season. Obviously, Lonzo was a big part of that. I don't understand the acquisition of Tristan Thompson personally. I think they should actually have used Levine or DeMar. I think if you want to try to win this year, I think you would have had to have traded Levine. I don't know if they would have done it though, because I think they're hoping to build somewhat of a dynasty between AC, Lonzo, and Zach. I think they had to have made a push for Sabonis. I think that they should have made a push for Sabonis.
They should have traded Vucevic.
I don't think they would have taken.
First-round pick.
I don't think they would have taken it.
I think that Indiana would have taken any trade with a first-round pick.
No way. If that was true, they would not have had Halliburton and Hield. There's no way.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Sacramento did not throw in a first-round pick.
Let me see. Kings trade.
I mean, I might be wrong here, but
Because I want to say they did. Let me see.
that's all I'm gonna say.
What'd you say?
I said if that's the truth, and they did throw in a first-round trade with Buddy and Halliburton, that's a trade. Right?
Okay, so no, they didn't. So this is what Indiana received. They received Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson, and then Sacramento received Sabonis, Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second-round pick.
Yeah. So let's put it in terms of picks, right? We got Tyrese Halliburton could be considered a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You got Buddy Hield can be considered a role player / borderline starter, right? And Tristan Thompson's a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So a first, a second, and a borderline starter. That's basically what they got in terms of I think, a superstar in Sabonis.
I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's a star, but I think he could be a superstar. I think he needs to really, really step up his game offensively. Like, I think if he gets a little, like, just a somewhat, it's just a somewhat decent three-point shot, 3-point percentage, maybe. But I only see him shoot little hooks, dunks, layups, that's it. Sometimes he'll shoot a little mid-range, but that's it. But I don't know. I think that's what Chicago should have done. Obviously, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Or I think the Knicks should have done the same thing. Honestly, I think it should have been Chicago or the Knicks going after Sabonis more so than Sacramento. But
well, what's his 3-point percentage right now? What's Sabonis' 3-point percentage?
Let me see. Domantas Sabonis. Let's see. Basketball Reference. He is shooting.
It's gotta be mid-30s, right? Like
30%. 30%. But how many is he taking?
Oh.
He is taking... Oh, no. This season, actually. Since he has joined Sacramento, it's 18%.
Yikes.
Yeah, but before he was at 30%.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I don't know. That whole Kings trade thing, I would not have given up Tyrese. I already told you I would have given up Fox.
That's crazy. Long term makes more sense. I think it's hard trying to figure out which one of those guys. They're both so good. You know what I mean? Like, De'Aaron Fox is so good. You know that.
Halliburton, the type of point guard that Halliburton is, does not grow on trees. Like,
no, I know.
Pass first point guards, they don't come around very often anymore. This isn't the 90s.
No, he's a generational player.
Yeah, 100%. So, Indy's going to be real good because of him for years to come, dude. As long as they build right around him, my God. I'm telling you right now.
They're going to have to be real, real good, though, getting out of the East because... The East is not... the East is going to be really hard for the next 10 years. Like, really hard. You think about the Magic. Pistons are getting good. I think the Knicks have something cooking. Obviously, they got to get off Julius Randle. He's been horrible for them. But building around RJ and Cam Reddish...
Whew. He's got to go to a small market team, Julius Randle.
Yeah, he should have just stayed in New Orleans. Shit, maybe that'll be a homecoming.
He should have stayed in New Orleans. He should have. Another place I was thinking for him, small market. Charlotte would be good for him. But also, I was thinking Orlando.
Yeah, that could be good. He needs to feel like he's the best player. And I feel like as soon as there's somebody he plays with somebody that's good, he's like, shit. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's why, I don't know what team he goes to. I honestly think he could be okay in Indy. Ironically enough. Yeah. Why would you think not?
He doesn't fit those guys. Those guys are also mild-mannered in Indy, man. Like Buddy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. But, that could be... It could work. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going to end Twitter Space just because my phone's about to die. Right. We're just going to keep talking, though, because this is going to go up on the YouTube anyways. But I don't understand why. It could work. And I have a feeling Indy's going to kind of go into a little, mini rebuild where I think they're going to try to get off Miles Turner a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But But I think I don't know. I could see Charlotte, but I think Julius Randle at best is going to be a sixth man of the year type of player. Like he needs to find somewhere where he fits and he's coming off the bench and he's leading that bench unit and he's just doing his thing. He doesn't do well with good players on the court. You know what I mean?
Ask you a question. What's his salary right now? It's like 23 million.
Julius Randle?
Yeah.
Let's see his salary. His salary right now is 19 million.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you, if you were the Knicks, okay, would you take Saric and let's see, Saric and Cameron Payne?
Nah.
Right? You wouldn't take Saric and Cameron Payne?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Why? You wouldn't take a pass first point guard, finally, and a fundamentally sound young big guy?
This is something we've disagreed on, a little bit. I'm not huge on Saric. Never have been. I think he's just a role player, and a subpar role player at that. I think Cameron Payne, yeah, he could be good on the Knicks. You'd have to do something better than Saric, though.
You can't.
Like, it would have to be like Cam Payne and maybe Cam Johnson for like Julius Randle, and maybe like.
There's no way. Cam Johnson's gonna get paid. He will get a starter level contract
from
this
Phoenix.
Yeah, they will pay. They will pay both Ayton and Cam Johnson.
How are they gonna do that though? If they already got two max guys, how are you gonna pay all those guys?
They will pay them. They will pay him because they have the bird rights. It's the same way that. And I think they become like, we'll see what happens, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows? I mean, someone like Warren Buffett could buy the fucking Suns, dude. I don't know.
Okay, so how about this? If you're the Knicks and the Suns, you're trying to work out a trade. You want Julius Randle, and they want Cameron Payne.
If I can get him for cheap for campaign when I know that I have Aaron Holiday and Alfred Payton, then yeah.
So what about, let's say, Julius Randle for Cameron Johnson, and then you get Kemba, and then you give up Cam Johnson?
Hell no. No one wants Kemba.
I mean, I feel like he's better coming off the bench than Alfred Payton.
No, because the Alfred Payton, like, you need point guards that will play defense. Like, this is the Suns' MO. If you're a point guard, you need to be able to play defense, and you need to be able to run the game plan. And I feel like Kemba is not going to do either of those. He's going to come off screens and try to shoot threes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, it looks like he's getting paid $21 million. Google lied to me. He's getting paid $21.7 million this year.
Oh, then you can't do anything. Then you'd have to trade you'd need to trade campaign Torrey and Saric or something like that.
See, I don't think anybody wants Saric though.
I think you're wrong. I think, dude, the guy is a beast in terms of rebounding. He has this big ass, right? Like,
what?
Thick. Yeah, he's thick.
I just wanted to know we're live on the airways, brother.
That's fine. He's got a big ass, okay? He's thick. He positions that badonkadonk down there, dude, and he will out-rebound guys that can jump over him just because he's so big. Like, he's just wide. Mm-hmm. He backs down players. And, in fact, here's another hot take. If he doesn't get injured, the Suns sweep the Bucks.
What? Oh, my God. That is an astronomical take. That's not even a hot take. That's an astronomical take.
I'm telling you right now, dude, you should go back and watch the Suns games, okay, that they played during the regular season with Saric on Giannis. He plays really good defense in a half-court setting, okay, with against Giannis because he's so wide. Giannis can't Euro step through him. He's wide, he's thick, he weighs like 260. That's what people don't understand.
225.
Okay, so I was off by about
Yeah,
40 pounds,
yeah.
but he still is thick. All right.
No, he's a big guy. I that's a bold take to say a role player not being injured is going to put you over the defending champs now. That you would have swept them. That is a very, very bold take.
I'm telling you right now.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see because I mean, is there a timeline as to when Saric is coming back?
He's not going to be back for playoffs. Frank Kaminsky will be back for the playoffs.
Oh, they're even fucking skinnier one.
Yeah, but all right. So
No fat ass.
You don't like no fat ass. You don't like Frank, but you should have seen how he was playing in the beginning of the season. Like if you just Google Frank Kaminsky, go on to basketballreference.com real quick.
10.6 points.
That's fine. Look at his past games before he got injured.
Let's see. 21, 22. All right, let's see. 1 field goal made out of 4.
That was probably the game he got injured.
5 rebounds. All defensive rebounds. No, 3 of them were defensive rebounds.
No, look at the individual game stats.
Individual game stats. What do you mean? That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
He had, let's see, 17 points. So he had one really good game. He had dropped 31 points and 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Mm-hmm. That was the best game probably of his career, if I had to guess.
It was the best game of his career, but the confidence that he had after that, and he was coming off the bench.
But it also was against Portland. And let me see, did Dame play?
Nurkic was playing, though. He did that against Nurkic, I think.
Oh, yeah, Damon and McCollum were playing, and Nurkic. Yeah. But Nurkic only played 19 minutes, which is kind of...
Because he was getting trashed on by Frank. They went small to try to counter Frank, and they kept Frank in the game.
Yeah, because Frank was almost... he's at starter level minutes. He played 31 minutes. So, I mean, he had the best plus-minus on the team. Yeah, I mean, but, like... I cannot judge a player off of their highest career game, because if so... Kobe, I mean, or Wilt's the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Wilt or Booker's up there with Wilt.
Yeah, Wilt, Kobe, or fucking Devin Booker. That's the GOAT. You know what I mean? But, like, I mean, he's good, but
offensively, he's good. He can't rebound. He can't defend. But all I'm saying is the Suns need that scoring punch off the bench, right?
I don't think they need it. It would be nice, but I don't think they need it.
Dude, he's a walking bucket down there. The way that the Suns use their bigs, like, at least admit that. The way the Suns use their bigs.
They utilize their bigs well, because Monty is a very, very good coach. And also, they have a really good point guard, so, I mean...
Yep. So, I mean, he's a walking bucket when he's out there, literally. He's good for 10 points. Just like you said, 10.6.
Oh yeah, he'll average somewhere between 8 and 11 points when he comes back. Exactly. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, with or without Frank Kaminsky, I mean, realistically, as long as nothing catastrophic happens, Phoenix should be able to make it out of the West. I mean, it might be a little bit difficult with Kawhi and PG coming back. Might be a little bit difficult with MPJ and Jamal Murray making it back, but
I might start drinking again if Kawhi and PG come back and they play the Suns in the first round.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see like a news report that pop up during this podcast, like Kawhi, Paul George back tonight.
Yeah, just pull out a bottle of Jack Daniels at that point.
I mean, we all know it's coming, right?
It's gotta come.
Kawhi's been out for a while.
I think I saw something that said that Kawhi doesn't even have 10,000 points in his career yet.
No way. Let me see. Kawhi.
I think he's got like 9,000 something.
Let's see. 11,085.
Yeah, but does that include the playoffs?
Probably.
All right, so there you go.
Let's see. Gameplay, points scored. Yeah, probably does. I don't know. But, I mean, oh well. I mean, he's 30 years old. He's got, what, maybe 4 years left of his prime?
Like, he's going to go down. It's like a really weird case for the Hall of Fame, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. He already is, because, like, he's so talented, so incredibly talented, he stopped 2 dynasties. Yeah, but he doesn't play.
He doesn't play. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he literally plays 12 games a season.
Exactly. Like, that is... Like people 30 years from now Like your kids will be like, Dad, why is Kawhi in the Hall of Fame? And you're gonna be like, well, let me tell you about the shot.
Yeah, the shot, the claw,
Yeah,
the dynasty
exactly.
stopper, bro. Like, it's
Literally.
so weird.
Yeah, it's I can't explain it, dude. But the guy, I think I told you this before. Kawhi is one of my favorite players in the NBA.
Mine too, because he does.
Hands down.
He puts his head down and fucking does what he needs to do.
Yep.
And his big ass hands, man. Like when you can palm a basketball like Kawhi, bro. Shit.
Dude, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But let me ask you this: if there's any question, the bias out, ignore your bias.
Yeah.
Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of the most incredible shots in NBA history. I think that propelled him to the finals, because I want to say that was the Game 7s at East Conference Finals.
Yeah, it was.
And then you stopped the Miami dynasty. You stopped the Warriors, because I think they would have been their third, right?
Yep.
Yeah, their third with KD. And then you go to LA, and I really do think that within the next 4 years, he stays healthy, they're going to win a chip. Him and Paul George.
Clippers?
Yeah.
Clippers?
Yeah.
Yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. Like, everyone's like, all right, so here's the thing I wanted to say about the West. Are you going to tell me right now that when all these injured players in the West, like Murray, okay, like Kawhi, PG-13, all them, that the West isn't going to be better, and they're going to have draft picks? The West hasn't had good draft picks for a while.
Well, shit, man. Most of the fucking draft picks in the West are in fucking OKC, though. So.
Well, okay. I mean, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they got like 25 of them.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude.
I'm gonna add on to that a little bit though, because this is the thing. When Murray's healthy,
yeah,
are you convinced that Jokic is the best player on the Nuggets?
Yes.
Really? Because I remember not too long ago, you had back-to-back 50-point games against the Nuggets and the Jazz. I don't know if you remember that series in the bubble. Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray going fucking ham.
Yeah, that was extremely entertaining. But let me put it on you right now. Remember how we were talking about? I don't know if it was on the podcast or if me and you were just shooting the shit on Discord. But remember how we were talking about who the best player on the Warriors were?
Yeah.
I told you that I feel like it was Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
What if I were to tell you that I feel like Jokic is just a better version of Draymond that plays less defense?
I was about to say, because Draymond's pretty much only known for his defense, so it'd be like quite the opposite, but kind of that same role.
And his defense and passing.
Yeah.
Whereas Jokic is known for passing and offense, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost the exact opposite, I want to say, but
kinda, yeah,
almost the exact same.
The same sentiment.
Exactly. So you take Draymond off the Warriors. The Warriors are not good.
I mean, they're good. They're just not as good.
They're not. Exactly. So you take Jokic off the Nuggets. That means Murray cannot shoot 50 points a game. He can't. He's got to run the offense.
Okay, so let me ask you this: let's say that, like, for whatever reason, Denver trades Jokic, and I don't know what could you get in return for Jokic?
The entire Clippers organization, including Jerry West.
Oh man, the logo.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like because you can't just take a max player out, right? Like, you can't just take Jokic off the Nuggets and then not replace him with something, because I think if you put, like, let's say you take Jokic off, but you put Cat in, you're still telling me you don't think that Jamal Murray can drop 50 points in a series like that? I guarantee he could.
Because the way the Cat plays, Cat's going to be the one dropping 50 points.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's the system that Malone uses, right?
Yeah, but I think Jamal Murray is just too talented. I don't know if you remember that, like, reverse layup that he did in the bubble against LeBron.
Yeah.
It was literally like watching Mike. It was. I swear to God, I saw Michael Jordan right there. Like, that was that moment. I was like, holy shit! Like, he just should have stuck out his tongue, and it would have been. You know what I mean?
Throwing some Jordans.
Yeah, like it was crazy, man. And like I think because of how injured he always is injured. He's another guy. He's always injured.
Yep.
He's so fucking talented. Like people don't understand it. Like people are starting to come around and realizing that like Kyrie. I've been saying this for years. Kyrie is the most skilled NBA player ever. Best handles I've ever fucking seen. Like that dude has the ball on a string. It's insane. And then now, yeah, exactly. And like Jamal Murray is, I swear he's in that same category. Not just like right off the rip, but I'm telling you, he's like, he's always injured. So I don't feel like he's like, he just kind of keeps like plateauing. You know what I mean? Like he starts growing. And it's like, oh, injury. Goes back down. He's like, now go, injury. But like when he gets there and he's like, he needs to get off this injury shit, dude. This guy is fucking nuts.
No, I agree. I just, yeah.
I'm huge on him though. He's a Toronto guy. I mean, he's nuts, man. I'm not. Obviously, I'm just gonna sound like a hater. I'm not big on Jokic. I'm not sold. On the passing.
Not a lot of people are, man.
I'm not, but I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not huge on a passing big man like that. I'm not. I don't like the way he plays. I think a big man, you gotta be athletic somewhat. Like you gotta make it look effortless to dunk. But instead, he looks like he's jumping out of quicksand.
Let's talk about another great passing, unathletic big man that won multiple championships.
Who's that?
Paul Gasol, then.
Let's
talk about it.
Okay, Paul Gasol. I want to say okay. So he's only a 2-time champion, right? Because I want to say, did that Lakers? They went back to back, right?
No, they Boston won in 2008. They won in 2007, and then they won again in 2000. And the Lakers won in 2009. I want to say.
Wait, what? I don't think the Lakers won in 2007.
Yeah, they did. Or maybe it was or maybe you're right. Maybe the Celtics won in 2007.
I think the Celtics. Wait, no, because who won 2000? Let me see. NBA Finals. Because I want to say the Lakers, Powell and Kobe went back to back.
I don't think so.
Let me see.
I could be wrong though. I was pretty high back then. So.
Let me see. NBA Finals winners. Let's see. So in 2007, this is where we were wrong. 2006, the Mavs won.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. The Heat won, I think.
2006, 2007?
Yeah.
The Heat with Shaq and
the Heat with Shaq and D-Wade, they won. Then the Spurs won. Then the Celtics won in 2008, and then the Lakers went back to back. And then then the Mavericks, that's when LeBron had his meltdown. Then the Miami went back to back.
That's I like to call that the karma finals. And they made fun of Dirk for being sick.
I don't know. I call it a fluke more than anything.
JJ Barea had greatest defensive player ever.
Oh my god. I don't know, man. And then Kawhi stopped the dynasty. The Warriors go on a tear. Cavs come back from down 3-1. Kawhi stops another dynasty. The Lakers, or then the Raptors. Yeah, then the Lakers, then the Bucks, and then we'll see what happens this season. I don't know. What do you want to talk about Paul Gasol? I mean, did he have a crazy career?
Oh, but he was a linchpin in that Lakers team, right? Like he played above average defense.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great passer.
Mm-hmm.
He was unathletic. He was a finesse player. He is, in my opinion, not a walking triple double like Jokic,
yeah.
Right? But he is similar. Both 7-foot white foreign European big men that are basically cut from the same cloth, right?
Yeah.
Like Powell could even shoot threes sometimes.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. How many people do you remember back then were huge Powell fans?
I mean, a lot of people, because there's Laker fans everywhere.
No, everybody was a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean, yeah,
I don't ever remember going. I don't remember ever seeing anybody in my whole life wear a Pau Gasol jersey when he was on the Lakers.
there was quite a few.
I don't know. Maybe I mean at the time I was still in Michigan, to be fair, but like I was on the East Coast and everybody was still wearing Pistons because they just came off that win in a couple years before with like Chauncey and Ben Wallace and Sheed and everything. But
And Rip.
yeah, Rip Hamilton. But it's like I don't know. To me, I'm just not a big fan of the passing big man. I think big man to me, I want to see Shaq. I want to see, you know,
Shaq was
Hakeem.
a good passing big man. He had to because they used the triangle offense.
No, I know, but that's not what you remember him for.
No, 100%. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is what I like in terms of big man. Like I want Shaq's dominance. That's why I love Giannis so much. And like I wish that AD would be more like that, and I wish Joel would be more like that. But I mean, Joel's a little bit too big in terms of like he's just heavy and he's got weak ankles. Yeah, like fat ass, you know, as what Adam says. But like that's to me, that's what a center is. I don't think a center is a guy that's always on the perimeter, fucking passing it, doing pick and roll, trying to do the post. I've never been a big fan of the post. You know, like there's some players I like seeing. You know, like I like seeing LeBron in the post. He's not a center, obviously, but like I've always think LeBron's post game was super fun to watch.
I agree.
Who else in the post? Tim Duncan in the post. Incredible.
Dwayne Wade. No one talks about Dwayne Wade in the post.
D Wade in the post, yeah, good,
my
but
gosh, that's a bucket every time.
Yeah, but D Wade was good everywhere. Like let's not get it twisted. The Flash was good everywhere, from the three, off the dribble, dunking, in the post. Man, this dude was amazing, and he's another guy. Yeah, defensively he was great too. Like, but he's another superstar. Like he kind of, I mean, his injuries kind of fucked with him a bit, but he needs to be higher all time too. Like people don't understand how good he was. Like it's just crazy. Like I feel like there's so many casual, fans that they just like, oh yeah, D Wade was cool because he played with LeBron. Like no, D Wade won a championship before LeBron with a fucking old ass Shaq.
He won a championship his second year in the NBA. I want to say, right?
Was it? I want to say it was a couple years. Let me see. Dwayne Wade.
Second or third year in the NBA, I want to say.
Let's see. Dwayne Wade. He played 16 years. So he was in the league since 2003, and they won it in 2006. So third year.
Yeah, third year. That's crazy. He was on his rookie contract still.
Yep. And I mean, the second best player. Well, I mean, the second best player was probably Alonzo Mourning, right? Or was Alonzo? Yeah,
Lonzo was on that team.
Yeah.
But he was older than Shaq at that point, I want to say, right?
I don't think so. Was he really?
I think so.
Let me see. At the time, Shaq was born in 72. Yeah, he was 2 years older than Shaq.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, and at the time, Shaq weighed in at 325 pounds.
Yeah, they must have taken at least 50 pounds off that.
Yeah, because he was fucking big, dude.
Yeah, he was also not very good in Miami.
He was okay. Like, I mean, he definitely wasn't, Shaq. But, he had some good minutes, I feel like. But, no, definitely not.
Let me ask you a question. I wanted to talk about how do you fix the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And I know you said that you didn't have really anything. I was listening to the Old Man and the Three the other day. They were talking to Tyrese Halliburton, and they were asking him how you fix the dunk contest. And he said that you should incentivize it, right, by having the NBA players play against professional dunkers.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, because, like, as an NBA fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of those fans, as NBA fans, do you think goes to like dunk contests, like for pro dunkers? You know what I mean? As big of fans as we are for basketball, would we ever go to a dunk contest if it was not NBA players?
No, and that's the thing. Not only are you given the limelight to something that is pretty unique to basketball, where you have like a very niche thing in a sport that someone can actually make money off of. Like there's such a thing as a professional dunker. Like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a professional football thrower.
Yeah, home run hitter.
Or a home run hitter or field goal kicker. Like they don't have competitions for that outside of the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the NBA, that's something that's pretty unique. So you're adding to those guys' career, right? For one, and two, we can all pretty much say that most NBA players, if not all, have egos. Now, how embarrassing would it be for your weekend, your All-Star weekend, right, to lose to people that are not even in the NBA?
But I don't know, because I feel like there's two different ways you can look at it. One, it could be super embarrassing, but then because you're playing basketball at the highest level, right? Yeah. But at the same time, you can do so many other things that guy he can just dunk. You know what I mean? You can do so many other things, like, and that's why I think like it just gets really foggy because. I like dunks. I've always liked dunks. Like, I mean, who doesn't like watching a good dunk contest? You know what I mean? Watching dudes fly in the fucking air and slam a ball through the basket is crazy. But like, I don't know. I feel like what would actually incentivize players is like a bonus or something. Like, you get an actual prize besides some stupid ass basketball trophy. You know what I mean? Like, whoever wins gets 10 mil. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Or like some sort of sponsor deal or something. Like, I don't know. There has to be something more than just that stupid trophy and say, "Oh yeah, I won a dunk contest." You know what I mean? Like, give them a reason to want to do it.
So you do agree with the incentivization, but I mean, how do you incentivize players that already earn millions of dollars? Like,
you could never have enough. You know,
in the case of Allen Iverson and a couple other players, I would agree with you.
Yeah, like I mean, that's just how it is. You can never have enough money.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and whether that's like a selfish thing, like you just want more money for yourself, or if you really want to just like set up your business, or you want generational wealth for your kids, and so forth. But you can never have enough money. You know what I mean? Especially for like, think about it. I mean, I don't think Ja's turning up 10, 15, 20 million dollars if he wins the dunk contest. I guarantee he'd be in there. Shit, I guarantee maybe even LeBron, maybe not now, but back in the day would have looked at it for 10, 15, 20 mil.
Let's change really, really quick, right? And then I think you gotta go. You got somewhere to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just real quick, do you think that would have done anything for LeBron's likability if he would have participated in a couple of dunk contests?
I don't know, because I feel like LeBron has always been
likable.
He's just like he's never. I mean, think about it. It's 20-year season, or he's in the year 18, 17. Yeah. Almost 20 years playing the game. Have you ever heard LeBron in anything? Like, no. There's no, like, drama around him. There's no issue. Like, the only thing I can remember, and it was somewhat early in his career, was that, ironically, Delonte West, there was rumors that he was having sex with LeBron's mother. I mean, I don't know any other way to say that. That's the only thing I remember.
You could have said it in a PG way, like hooking up, or
yeah. There was some fornications between LeBron's mother, Mrs. James, and Delonte West. So I mean, now he's a crackhead going out and trying out for the big three. I'm happy that he's clean though, because I remember, I don't know if you saw those videos where he was out and getting arrested and saying he was fucking Jesus and shit. I don't know. It was fucking crazy. And that's what I say. You can never have too much money, because a lot of NBA players, a lot of athletes, pro athletes, they don't get financial advisors, and they don't know how to fucking. They spend that money so fast.
Because they've never had it. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and they go crazy, and next thing you know, you're fucking broke. And obviously, Delonte West at some point went broke.
Too much crack, dude.
Yeah, but like, I think LeBron's always been likable. I don't know. I feel like LeBron's never been a super flashy dunker. Like, he's just a strong dunker. You know what I mean?
Power dunker.
Yeah, like he runs at the basket, jumps high, and slams the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he had that much finesse. Like, he has some in-game dunks where, it was like, ooh, like some crazy shit, like a couple windmills and everything, but. I don't know. Like I never felt like that was LeBron's thing. I think LeBron has always been more about team achievements more than anything. And I'm not saying like he doesn't want individual accolades, but I think he's always been more worried about, especially early, he wanted to win a chip. Like he wanted to win a championship before he left Cleveland the first time. You know what I mean? Like, and that team that he carried to the finals was fucking horrible.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. And I think it really lit a fire under his ass because Dwayne Wade did it. I mean, you know how close they are, and them being drafted at the same time, and like him doing that in his third year, fucking LeBron. I'm sure that lit a fire under his ass. You know, let alone chasing Michael Jordan. Now he's chasing Dwayne Wade. You know, so I think I don't know. I don't think that's where his focus was at. I think he wanted a chip as soon as he could. You know, and I think. And maybe in terms of likability, yeah, maybe. I think there's always going to be people that didn't like him, people that do like him. I've always had that's the generational player, you know, for kids, you know, guys around my age. We all grew up watching LeBron. It was LeBron, Melo, D Rose, D Wade. You know, we got a little bit of KG, K Love, Paul Pierce. I didn't really ever like Paul Pierce, so. You know,
with me, it was the tail end of MJ's career, and then Kobe. Kobe was my.
Oh wait, Kobe too though, because you know, I didn't get to watch the three-peat obviously, because I was born in '98, so I was
young, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, I mean, I'm a youngin. I don't remember. I don't have any recollection of the three-peat. I didn't get to watch Kobe and Shaq, which I mean, I get to watch film now, but it's not the same as it being like pop culture. You know what I mean? It's like when Mike was doing this thing with the Bulls and Rodman and Pippen. Like that was the thing. Everybody was, you know what I mean? Like even my parents were watching those finals. They didn't even watch basketball. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like the Bad Boy Pistons. That was the thing. No matter whether you like basketball or not, you're from Detroit. You're watching the Bad Boy Pistons. Like that's true. It's just a cultural aspect. Like you're so enveloped in it. That's what I was kind of robbed of. Obviously, I didn't get to witness the 3P. I didn't get to witness the Jordan 3Ps, obviously. But I get to witness Kobe's back-to-back. Kobe, so many Kobe injuries, obviously. And then you got fucking... Unfortunately, I had to witness Golden State's bullshit, but it is what it is, man. What they're trying to do, the media now is trying to put this narrative out that Steph Curry was my generation's player. Fuck that. I didn't know Steph Curry until they made the finals. I did, but...
I mean, I don't know. I got nothing, to be honest with you, dude. I mean, I think it could go either way. I think...
You are crazy.
Okay, just literally. We've seen a type of player like LeBron before, okay? And I
we haven't.
Well, just hear me out. Okay? He's a little bit of Magic. I like the comparisons between him and Magic more than him and MJ.
Oh no, he is a bigger, better scoring Magic.
Yeah, exactly. So you've seen sort of that type of thing before, but ain't no one seen Steph Curry before.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm pretty high on Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. I've always loved Ray Allen.
They're standing still. They're not freaking doing the stuff that Steph does, dude. Come on. Steph is like a mutant of like if Rip Hamilton and Ray Allen had a baby, that would be like, dude. They run Steph Curry off so many screens, like 7 screens of freaking set, just about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nuts. The dude never stops moving, just like Rip Hamilton. Never stops moving.
Yeah, that's true.
Rip Hamilton would pull up for a 2. Steph pulls up from
half
3.
court.
Yeah, or half court. So I don't know, man.
But okay, so here's the thing, though. You can change the game because obviously Steph Curry changed the game of basketball and how it's played. Yep. But that does not make you the generational player. Yeah, for better or worse. But that still, it was LeBron's era.
Let me ask you a question. If Steph Curry ends his career with more championships, okay, than LeBron, your tune won't change.
No.
So if he ends with 6 championships,
which he won't, but no, even if hypothetically, no.
Wow. All right.
But this is why. I think LeBron, and this is not I think, I know LeBron elevates everybody around him. It's never he's been pass first, he's been score first, he's played pretty much 1 through 5. You know what I mean? And he's won finals and finals MVP for 3 different teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's hard to do. It's hard to do that once. Curry's not won any finals MVP.
I can't speak to it because I'm not part of your generation. To me, it was Kobe, unquestionable Kobe. There was no one else. You could maybe throw Shaq in there, but no. To me, it was Kobe. Kobe was my generational player. He was my GOAT.
Well, I think for people my age, early 20s, mid 20s, it's Kobe and LeBron. Because it was Kobe towards the beginning, when I was younger, but then at the same time, because this was at the time Kobe was still doing his thing in LA.
Yep.
And then LeBron had just, he's doing his first couple years in Cleveland. So, I liked his game. LeBron was LeBron. He had so much hype around him. But it wasn't until Miami, when they linked up in Miami, it was like, okay, this is it. He's got this shit on lock. But I think with Kobe, everybody knew because pretty much that's what we were all waiting for, right? People my age, we were waiting for Kobe versus LeBron. It unfortunately never happened.
Robbed of it. Robbed.
It's one of the biggest robberies in NBA history, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was waiting for. I wanted to see a Laker Heat matchup so fucking bad. Never happened.
I think it would have made the world explode.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's what kids my age wanted, and that's why it's Kobe for the first few years, the early 2000s, late 2000s, and then once you hit to about 2012, or was it 2010 or 20? No, I think it was 2010. LeBron went to Miami.
Yep.
2010. That's when it was like, all right, it's LeBron's time. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you could say, but it's hard now, because at what point? Because you got 2010 to 2014 is when he's on Miami, and then you got 2014 to 2018. He's in Cleveland, yep. And then you got now from 2018 to 2022 he's in LA. So at what point does it shift? Because 2010 to 2014, number 6 LeBron was, I think, fucking sane. I think masked LeBron wearing number 6 with those Heat jerseys, dude. I think that was the best version of LeBron. And then you get LeBron, number 23 LeBron, wearing that black Cavs, the land jerseys. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Dude
was a fucking monster. And then you still got him now. He's still in his prime in year 17. When is his prime going to end?
When he retires.
Yeah. To me, when is there a gap as to where it shifts from LeBron to Steph? You know what I mean? Because there was a shift from Kobe to LeBron, but we're still waiting to figure out who's going to be the face of the NBA, because it's still LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't answer that, man. Like I said, I can't really speak to who you guys look at as your, But to me, if I could speak on it, let's put myself in the Gen Z shoes.
Whoa, chill out now.
Okay, let me put on my Yeezys or whatever you kids wear.
Yeah.
All right. I just feel like, and I maybe the LeBron hater in me, whatever you could call it, whatever you want, but I just think that Steph is a better figurehead, especially if he not right now. Right now, I agree with you, it's LeBron. But Steph, if he goes on and he wins 6 championships or whatever, let's say they go on another dynasty run, they just own the NBA, they prove everyone wrong. It's not the Grizzlies, it's not the Suns,
Mm-hmm.
It's not Philly, it's not Bucks, it's the Warriors. Again, you're gonna tell me right now, then, just because LeBron has all those accolades, that Steph didn't have the better career?
No, I don't. But just because. Okay, so here's the thing. Steph doesn't make anybody better. Actually, in fact, he needs somebody else to make him better, which is
But
Draymond.
but does LeBron make anyone better? Let's
Yes.
be real. Really? So you're gonna
Prime
tell me
LeBron.
that Kevin Love on the Cavs was a better player than he was when he was averaging like 16 rebounds a game and being an absolute monster in Minnesota?
So, okay, but here's the thing though. When Kevin Love went to Cleveland, he understood that he was not going to be that guy.
But
Right.
you're saying, but hold on, but you're saying that LeBron makes players better, so he should have been better in Cleveland than he was in Minnesota. Now let's look at Steph. Steph just being on the court allows people to get better shots, mainly play.
But does LeBron driving to the basket not do the same thing?
Is he making players better in LA right now?
Not in LA, but I'm saying
Okay,
let's
so there you go.
talk about so let's talk about 2010 to 2018. Was he not making plays for or making open shots for people like Kevin Love and J.R. Smith and Kyrie and all these guys?
J.R. Smith has always been a knockdown shooter. Kyrie is Kyrie. That's Uncle Jimmy.
But I'm just saying. But does LeBron James? You see LeBron James coming in transition, full sprint to the basket. You're telling me there's not gonna be 2 or 3 guys trying to get off their guy to stop him?
But the same could be said for Steph.
No, it is not. 3 people.
Listen, yeah,
fucking
there was a picture. There was a picture I saw on Reddit like a few months ago when the Suns played.
I know what you're talking about. It was like 5 people on him, but it was at the 3-point line, not at the not at the cup.
Steph just being on the court, he has like a gravitational pull of like the sun. He just pulls people to him, and then people ipso facto they get open shots. So just saying.
No, this is a very weird tape because LeBron. I'll grab a highlight reel because we need to refresh your memory. You're getting a little bit old now because I think you're forgetting how just
the stats back up what I'm saying.
No, I don't care about the stats. We'll do the eye test. We'll do it. We'll watch a LeBron driving compilation.
And it's like a vacuum. He pulls everyone to the center and then he kicks it out.
Yeah,
but anybody could do that.
No, Steph Curry could not do that. Steph Curry could not draw an entire team to the cup. No fucking way. He can draw them all to the
3-point line. That's what I'm saying.
But it's not. You'll never see. There's one picture, right? One picture with 5 guys on him. You'll never see them triple teaming him at the 3. Maybe a double team. Maybe they'll be trying to get him from half court. They'll do it like a quick trap. But there's no. Go ahead.
Every team, whenever someone drives to the basket, if they have an open lane to the basket, the defense automatically gets sucked in. I mean, you look at CP3. CP3 does the same.
But no. But here's the thing, though. LeBron, he's either gonna slam it in your face and you're gonna be on a poster, or he's gonna throw some fucking insane no look behind the fucking head pass. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly like Magic. You know that, and that's what I'm saying. You can't just say, "Oh, well, Steph doesn't make anybody better." Steph needs Draymond to make himself better, and then maybe by Draymond making him better, he can make people better. But without Draymond, is he doing that same thing?
Yeah.
No, he is not, because he didn't look like he was in the fucking. I remember I saw a game a couple weeks ago. He dropped like 8 points. You kidding me? When was the last time you seen LeBron drop 8 points?
Not for a long time.
I couldn't even. It's probably his rookie year, maybe.
Let me ask you a question. If Frank Kaminsky was playing for the Lakers right now, would he have?
Your mic cut out, by the way.
Oh.
If Frank Kaminsky played for the Lakers, or was it the Warriors?
If he played for the Lakers, would he be having a career year right
now? Yeah. Because probably CP3, not, because it's
CP3 makes.
CP3 what? Your mic keeps like lagging out.
Of LeBron making players better is not there.
No, but this is why I said 2010 to 2018 because obviously it's a lot different now. LeBron's not fucking posterizing anybody anymore, and that's the thing is like he's losing a little bit of his bounce, and he's losing I think a little bit of his confidence. That's why you're seeing him shoot a lot more jumpers now, which I'm not a huge fan of, but he's shooting at a better percentage now than he has been. But I think that's what's kind of like, for me, that's what's kind of taking LeBron's greatness away is that he's trying to change his game. And I get it. When you get older, your athleticism is going to leave, and especially LeBron, like that driving force is going to be a lot of his athleticism. And for him to, keep playing, keep trying to win championships, he's got to shoot. He can't keep doing fucking crazy dunks. But back then, let's say if Frank Kaminsky right now, present day Frank Kaminsky, was on any team, the 2010 to 2014 Heat or the 2014-2018 Cavs, no problem.
I mean, then I can't convince you.
But I really, it's not the way I feel. It's just watching the film. I remember.
That's the eye test, but the evidence, the statistical evidence, is not there to back it up. That's what I'm saying.
What stats? What? I don't understand because the one stat you said was the Kevin Love, right? Kevin Love. But both of them were fully aware that they were going to be third options at best. They both knew going into that they were sacrificing to win a chip, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't understand how that can be used against LeBron, saying, "Oh, he doesn't make these guys better because they became worse." Well, they went from being guys that were, doing great on shit teams to guys that were doing okay on great teams. So, if you ask Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, which would they have preferred? What do you think they'll say?
I don't know.
I do know because they made the decision. They signed the contracts. They you know what I mean? They did it. They want to win a chip. When you play professional basketball, you have two different routes you're going to take. Are you going to try to make the most amount of money, or are you going to try to win as much as you can? And those guys did a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Like Minnesota, I'm sure Kevin Love got his bag. Kevin Bosh, or I keep saying Kevin Bosh, god damn it. Chris Bosh in Toronto, he got his bag. And then they ended up both winning championships. Obviously, Chris Bosh got 2, Kevin Love got 1, is what it is. But I guarantee they have no regrets about that. I guarantee Kevin Love in Minnesota, if he would have stayed, he never would have won a chip.
Never.
And the same thing with
couldn't even do it.
And exactly, and that's the same thing with Chris Bosh. I don't think if he stayed in Toronto, they would ever win a chip. I mean, that's just what it is. You make sacrifices, but you got guys like.
Well, hold on, dude. You're disrespecting the GOAT, Andrea Bargnani, dude.
Oh God. He's actually on my team in 2K22. I actually do like him, but it's like, I don't know. But then I think you got guys that are not championship level players that LeBron does make better. You know what I mean? Like, did you ever think Timothy Mozgov or Iman Shumpert or even J.R. Smith? Did you think J.R. Smith was going to win a chip at some point? Because he got 2.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I thought those Denver teams were better than Kobe's Lakers.
No, the Denver teams were good. I don't know either. I think it was just too many egos.
It's that I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that referred to as the chain gang?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure.
Kenyon Martin, Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith, like, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, you got Chauncey on there.
Oh, Birdman.
Yeah,
Birdman,
Juwan Howard. Like they had
that was like the coming out of like the normalization of tattoos.
AI too, right?
Yeah, they had dude, I forgot about that. They had AI too.
Yep, towards the end of his career. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so, I don't know. But, like, after, JR was a bucket. He was a bucket too and when he went to the Knicks. It's not like JR was a bum, but was he a championship winning type of player? No.
Probably not.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Iman Shumpert. Same thing. Timothy Mozgov, same thing. Kevin Love could have been if if they had made a good team around him, but like there's too many ifs. Matt Dellavedova, Channing Frye, Like Mo Williams, this is not. When you look at the 2015 or is it 2016, 2017?
If Kobe doesn't hit that shot or like airball that shot in 2009, okay, against the Suns in the Western Conference Finals, Channing Frye could have possibly won a championship.
Could have possibly. That's what you're saying to me.
I'm just saying. You got an old ass Phoenix Suns team, right?
Yeah.
Old ass Phoenix Suns team at that point. Who won the championship that year? It was Kobe, right? Kobe
Which
and the
year?
Lakers won that year. 2009, the last year.
Yep,
2009, 2010.
Yep.
Who'd they play? They played
Celtics, I think.
They played the Celtics?
I'm pretty sure let me see. 2008, 2009 NBA Finals.
Yeah, they played the Celtics.
Yeah, because I think they... Oh, wait.
Yeah, they played the Celtics.
Really?
2009, 2010.
No. This is when Dwight made the finals. They played Magic. Or is this 2008?
No, I'm talking about the 2008 was the Magic. I think.
Yeah, 2008, 2009 is the Magic. Are you talking about 2009, 2010?
Whenever the Suns played the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals and Kobe airballed that shot and Ron Artest scooped it up and put it back in.
Yeah.
I was at that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was at that game. Dude.
That's tough.
I can't even begin to tell you.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But, we're discussing, maybe if he didn't airball this shot, maybe he could have really just, on an off chance, won the championship. You know what I mean? That's what we're discussing. Versus, I feel like Channing Frye was okay. He was pretty okay in the 2016 run.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
No, all right, look, I'm never going to be one of those LeBron haters.
I know.
He's like a terrible player. He doesn't deserve to be in the GOAT conversation. I dislike him for one simple reason, the decision. That's it. I think I've told you that.
Yeah, you have.
That's it. In fact, I used to hate Kobe so much, I like LeBron better. It switched when he did the decision.
Which blows my mind because the Suns hate Lakers. I don't understand this.
But the Lakers only beat the Suns during the Nash era that 1 year.
Yeah.
The Suns owned the Lakers for 6 years.
Yeah.
Legit. Like Kobe talks about the rivalry. He said the only rivalry they had, okay, when he was a Laker was the Suns. He said he wouldn't call the Kings a rivalry because they never won anything.
So let me ask you this. Is Steve Nash Kevin Durant before Kevin Durant? Is Steve Nash the original Snake?
No.
So you didn't feel any type of way when he went from Phoenix to LA?
I was happy.
Why?
Because I knew their run was over, and I felt like him and Kobe and Dwight had a real shot. Obviously, they didn't. But if anything, he made it a real goal of his to get what they could for him. Like, everybody won in that trade except the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
But when the trade happened, everyone was like, this is fair, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad. Was I sad? Yeah, I was sad. But I knew there was nothing that they could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is what it is. Just, I don't know. I just find it interesting. I just wanted to ask because I don't remember a lot about, that trade. Because it was so long ago. I mean, what was it, fucking 10 years ago? At least?
2012, 2013.
Yeah, so like 10 years ago. Jesus. Yeah. So it's like, dude, that's so long ago.
I remember his first game back. The arena, I've never seen a standing ovation at an arena like that before. They stood and clapped for Steve Nash when he came and played with the Lakers at the Suns arena for the first time. Mm-hmm. They stood and clapped for like a good 2.5 minutes.
I mean, he did. I mean, yeah, because he spent like 10 years there, right? Because he was like there for 2 years. Then he went to Dallas, and he was back for like another 10 or something, right? Let me see.
Yeah, I mean he
Or
was
8.
drafted by the Suns, and it's so crazy. I don't know if a lot of people know this, okay? But the Suns drafted Kevin Johnson, Jason Kidd, and Steve Nash, and now they have Chris Paul. Like, do they have the greatest point guard history in the history of the NBA? Like, is there any franchise that can claim to have probably 4 Hall of Famers?
Probably the Lakers, right? Because they have Magic.
They have Magic. That's it.
Well, no. These are going to be awful takes because they got them at the later, ends of their career. The glove, Gary Payton. I think he's one of the greats. I don't know if you agree with that. I think Russell Westbrook is one of the greats, not one of the greatest, but he's one of the greatest point guards. And I want to say there's one more, or is Jerry West isn't a point guard, right?
No, he's a shooting guard.
Yeah.
But what you're forgetting is the Suns drafted 3 out of those 4 guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's insane.
Did they really draft Jason Kidd? Let me see. I thought Jason Kidd.
Maybe Jason Kidd was drafted by Dallas.
Let's see.
I think you might.
He was. Right. Yeah, he was drafted by Dallas.
Okay. So I'm wrong. So 2 out of the 4 guys.
No, but it's still. I mean, it's still good. Kevin Johnson and Steve Nash are nothing to sleep on.
Yeah.
So, I mean. Oh, actually, we're wrong. Kevin Johnson was drafted by the Cavs.
What?
Yeah.
No, you're lying.
I'm not.
No way.
I swear, here. I'll link you it.
Dude, I never knew this.
I didn't either.
Did he play for the Cavs?
Yeah, he played 87 to 88.
Dude, I'm like freaking out right now. I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, he played limited minutes behind Mark Price. And then
he's gonna play limited minutes behind Mark Price.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
That's crazy. Okay.
So you got your 25% win rate. Yeah. It went from 75% to 25%. But
all right, I'm gonna change the narrative then. I'm gonna switch to we had them all in their primes. So there we go.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Well, Jason Kidd, I don't know, man.
You don't think that was his prime when he played with Penny and Steve?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, he won a chip, and I don't know. Like, it really depends. Was he better on the Suns in those 5 years, or was he better on the Nets in those 7?
Okay. I don't know about that one, actually.
You don't know? Right. Because that's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, I don't know.
Jason Kidd is what made me become a Suns fan.
But let me tell you this. He made the All-Star team for 6 of the 8 years he played in the Nets. And he put
bigger market.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, he was there for longer. He was only there for 5 years in Phoenix, and he was there for 7 years in the Nets. But only on 2 of those years on the Phoenix team, he made the playoffs, made the All-Star team. But also, I think they were a little bit better, the Phoenix team, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's hard to say between whether it was his prime on New Jersey or Phoenix. It's hard.
I think New Jersey. I think New Jersey.
All right, well, let's let it end there. We've been talking. I think it's like a 2-hour episode already. Yeah, we've been talking for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
You should split it up into 2 different ones, maybe.
Hell no, because then I have to render it and then fucking render another one. This is just one episode. Just one. We'll just take a break. We won't do one until like next weekend or so. Oh well, actually, I'll be in Vegas, so we'll have to do one if we want to do one next week. Before I go to Vegas, we can. Yeah. If not, we can always wait until not this week, but this next week, but the week after.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah. I'll keep you updated, and I'll try to keep everybody updated on social medias and everything. And you keep running the Facebook page, and start. Maybe start. We'll see about getting a guest on.
Yep, I'm trying my best. I'm gonna mess with some people right now. In fact.
Alright, well, I'm gonna end it here, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, and subscribe, hit the like button. Detroit Dill out.
Later.